Hello my loves and welcome back. I hope you're having a fabulous day so far. In today's video, we are going to be talking about color correction. We're going to be breaking down what color correction is, why you might need to use it, and how to do it appropriately. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kai. I'm a hairstylist and a makeup artist. I do different makeup tutorials and product reviews on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. To demonstrate the process of color correction today, I will be using this product from NYX Professional Makeup. This is their color correcting concealer palette. It has 6 different shades in it. So first things first, what is color correction? So color correction is the process of using makeup to correct areas that may be like bluish or reddish or yellow in your skin. So most commonly when we're color correcting, we're doing under eye areas, any area that might be like rosacea or acne that has a little bit of redness, and then also areas of hyperpigmentation, dark spots or light spots. So how does color correction work? Color correction works by using complementary colors. If we go back to color theory and we look at the color wheel, colors that are directly across from each other on the color wheel are complementary colors. If you mix those two colors together, they create a neutral. So basically, we're taking that color theory and we're applying it to our makeup. As you can see, there are 6 different shades in the palette here, and each one is meant for correcting a different color. We have our yellow corrector, which is meant to cancel out purplish tones. You can also use this for brightening on deeper skin tones. Green is going to be to cancel out redness, so we're going to use that in areas of like rosacea or acne breakouts to calm down that redness. The lilac color here is for brightening for lighter skin tones. The pink corrector is for brightening and also for bringing warmth back to sallow skin. So we have these 4 shades here, and then the bottom 2 shades are for correcting or concealing imperfections. We can use these in areas of lighter or darker pigmentation. We can also use them over top of our green when we're trying to cover up pimples. So there's a lot of good uses for those as well. This product in particular is a cream product. It has a very smooth finish. It's good for all skin types, which is why I really love this product. And it's cost effective. So everybody's under eye is going to be a little bit different when it comes to the color of their under eye area. But blue and purple are very common underneath of the eye. You can also have like darkness under the eye, as in like a brownish or reddish darkness. And then some people also get yellow underneath of the eye. So whatever color you're trying to correct is going to determine what product you're going to use. For me, I have purple and blue underneath of my eye. I like to take a little bit of the pink color corrector and also a little bit of the yellow color corrector to create like a peach color underneath of my eye, since I have both of those colors. I'm going to start with the yellow, and I'm just going to get the smallest amount on my ring finger. This product, just a little bit, goes very far. When I'm working underneath of my eye, I like to use my finger because the warmth of my hand helps to melt the product down a little bit and helps it blend out really easily. One of the biggest mistakes I see when I see other people color correcting is that they use too much product. You don't need a lot of this. The end result should be really natural, and ideally, I shouldn't be able to tell that I put yellow or orange or peach or whatever underneath of my eye. And I'm just going to concentrate this right on this little inner corner right here. And I'm just going to start to tap that out. And I want to be careful not to take this outside of where that discolored area is, because it's going to affect the other areas of my skin that don't need to be color corrected. So I want to try and keep this right on top of that purpley area. I'm kind of taking some of the excess as I'm blending out and moving it over to this eye, just so that I don't end up with too much product under this eye. You can see I picked up very little out of the pan, and it goes a very long way in correcting that discoloration. So just the tiniest amount is all you need. And then I like to carry this up into the inner corner of my eye because I do feel like it helps to brighten a little bit on that inner corner of the eye there. Okay, but you can see how much of a difference, and even though we put a little bit over here and it's helped to correct it a little bit, you can see how much of a difference we have from this eye where we fully applied that to this side. And again, just lightly tapping that, being cautious not to move it out of that area that we're trying to color correct. Okay, so now those look pretty good. Now you can tell that I still have a little bit of that bluish undertone because we've only corrected for the purple at this point. We're now going to pop over into our pinky colored corrector here, and that pink I'm also going to mix with a little bit of this light color corrector. It's kind of like a peach tone. So I'm going to use a little bit of that in combination with the pink in order to get rid of any remaining blueness. So I'm going to start out here because I feel like I have a lot of blue out there. And I'm just going to dot a little dot of each of those colors right there. And then I'm going to blend those inward so that this starts to overlap where we just used that yellow. And it's going to give me this really nice custom corrector as far as the tone goes, and it's going to help to neutralize all of that blue and purple tone underneath of the eye. Just make it look nice and bright, like I got a full night's sleep. I mean, look at how beautiful that looks. And corrector is not meant to cover. It is meant to neutralize. So we're not trying to put tons of this product on to cover up those areas. We're trying to neutralize the color using the opposite color. This will also help you to use less makeup in the long run because you won't have to layer on a bunch of concealer or foundation to correct those areas if you color correct before you do the rest of your makeup. And then I just like to come along the edge of that with a clean finger and just make sure that that's kind of all nice and blended and feathered out so we don't have any harsh lines where any of that product begins or ends. But look at how nice and awake and alert that under eye looks right now. And I've used the smallest amount of product on there. Like it barely even feels like there's anything there. And because this is a cream product, it has a very beautiful skin-like finish to it. Okay, so then the next place that I typically will correct is through my cheek and nose area. I tend to carry a lot of redness in those areas. Sometimes I'll do through my forehead as well. I am susceptible to breakouts in my forehead sometimes, so you can see I've got some little red spots through here. So we can use our green color corrector in order to fix those areas. Now with this technique, because I'm going to be working in a larger area through my cheek and nose area, I'm actually going to blend the green with a little bit of a foundation. Sometimes when you're using it in a large area, it tends to look a little heavy after you put your foundation on, and it'll give it almost like a green cast. So in order to subdue that green a little bit when we're using it on those large areas, mixing it with a foundation is a really good idea. I'm going to use some of the IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better foundation and skincare. This is more of a natural finish and medium buildable coverage foundation. So I like something that's a little bit like lighter or medium coverage when I'm mixing it in with my color correctors, especially on days that I'm not going to wear like a ton of makeup. I just want kind of a natural overall finish. So I'm going to grab a little bit of our green color corrector there. I'm going to put that on the back of my hand right next to a little dot of my foundation. And so I just mix those two colors together on the back of my hand. You can see they've blended into like a really nice foundation looking color. And I'm going to use that over any of those areas that I suffer from redness. And again, this is a really light application. Like once it's applied, you shouldn't even really be able to tell that you did any kind of color correcting. It's just neutralizing those red tones a little bit to make everything look more even. I'm gonna get just a little bit more of that same process, and then I'm going to use that over those areas of redness again. I'm just layering that up a little bit. Get in around my nose there. And then I'm just gonna drag this up through my forehead a little bit as well. And then I'm actually going to come in and spot correct a couple areas on my forehead. When you're working in those areas, you can either use a tiny brush or you can use your finger to apply it. I'm going to grab a little tiny brush here just to show you the process of that. I'm just loading up the very end of these bristles. This is a little concealer brush from It Cosmetics. So I just want to come in right on those red areas. So we'll choose this one right here because it's pretty noticeable. And I just want to pat this on to that area, just a tiny bit. And then I like to use my finger again to blend that out. You want to make sure you're keeping it right over top of that area because again, as it moves around or gets off of that area, it's going to make your skin look ashy in those areas that were not red. So then for me, the last place that I normally need to color correct is through my facial hair area. So when you shave your face, even though it's a clean shave, you still see a little bit of the hair underneath of the skin, and it gives this bluish kind of cast to the skin. Now, I don't necessarily do this all the time, but if I'm doing like a really formal makeup on myself, I'll do this. But it's really good for canceling out darkness in those areas. So what I'm gonna do is we wanna create like a peach concealer. So I'm gonna grab some of our pink. I'm going to get a pretty good amount of that, and I'm going to put that over here on the back of my hand like we were doing before with the other concealer. And then I'm going to grab some of this yellow. I'm going to put that right next to that. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of the light concealer in here. And I'm also going to put that right next to that. So now you can see we have this like light concealer, the pink and the yellow, which is going to give us this high coverage peach concealer. I'm going to use my sponge again. You can see I used this side earlier to do our green, so I'm going to use a clean side of it now. I'm just going to pick those up with my sponge, mixing them together on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to start to come in over all those areas where my facial hair grows. And again, I just need like a light coverage of this. This is not meant to cover. It is meant to neutralize and correct the color. So it just helps to make it less obvious so that when you put your makeup over it, it covers better. I think I'm going to go ahead and do my cheek on this side and not on the other side and let you see the difference because I kind of did the whole area around my mouth and didn't think to only do half of my face. So I'll do half of this over here so we can compare it to the other side. Okay, so if you look at this side compared to this side, it just kind of makes everything look a little bit more smooth and even. Okay, and that is my face fully color corrected. So if you were to look at my face, or if you look at my face, you cannot tell that I just put like a bunch of green and pink and yellow and peach concealer all over my face. It looks very natural. It helped to neutralize all of the colors. It doesn't look like I have any makeup on. Like this looks like very natural, fresh skin, but everything looks nice and even and glowy and beautiful. You could certainly go out of the house just like this. This is a really great trick for like those no makeup days that you want to just like conceal your dark areas, your hyperpigmentation, the darkness under your eyes, any kind of acne or breakouts. This is a really great trick for that. It looks really natural. It's quick and easy, something that you can do with one little makeup palette, and literally you could use your fingers to do the entire face as you're running out the door. So it's very simple, very effective. It's also going to help when you do want to wear a full face of makeup or you want to do a full glam face of makeup. It's going to help your makeup look more beautiful on your skin. It's going to help to cancel out any of those weird undertones and give you a really flawless finish to your makeup. So this is a really great trick to have in your pocket of makeup repertoire, knowing how to effectively color correct, because it can be useful in so many ways. I hope that I helped make that somewhat understandable for you and put it in a way that you can use it in your everyday makeup routine. If you are not already following or subscribed to my channel, make sure that you do that by hitting that subscribe button below. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and until I see you next time, remember to be true to yourselves, be kind to one another, and most importantly, be beautiful. I love you all. I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.